Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when you must choose yourself. You must decide that your peace, your growth, and your success matter more than pleasing others. Too often we hold on to relationships, friendships, and situations that drain us, hoping they will change, hoping they will see our worth. But let me tell you something powerful. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life. Some people were only there to teach you a lesson, to prepare you for something greater. If they walked away, let them go. If they betrayed you, let them go. If they don't support your dreams, let them go. Because the longer you hold on to people who no longer serve your destiny, the longer you delay your breakthrough. Focus on yourself, develop your skills, strengthen your mindset, build your future. Stop chasing people who don't see your value and start working on becoming the best version of yourself. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. The only thing you need is your commitment to growth, discipline, and faith. Some of the most successful people in the world had to walk alone for a season. They had to separate themselves to build, to heal, and to rise. And you must do the same. When you stop focusing on others and start focusing on yourself, that's when everything changes. That's when you attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right success into your life. So today, make a decision, let them go. If they're meant to be in your life, they will return. But if they're not, God is making room for something better. Your future is waiting. Focus on yourself and keep moving forward. There comes a moment in life when you must make a decision that will shape your future. The decision to focus on yourself. Too often, people spend their energy chasing after relationships, friendships, and approval from those who do not value them. They hold on to people who drain them, hoping that one day those individuals will change, that one day they will see their worth. But the truth is, not everyone is meant to stay in your life. Some people are only in your life for a season to teach you a lesson, and then they must leave. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that their worth is determined by how others treat them. They wait for validation, for appreciation, for recognition. They put their dreams on hold because they are too focused on who stays and who leaves. But let me tell you something, your worth is not dependent on anyone else. Your value does not decrease because someone fails to see it. You must stop wasting time on people who don't invest in you. If someone is constantly draining your energy, making you feel unworthy, or keeping you from growing, you have to let them go. Holding on to what is not meant for you will only delay your progress. Growth requires separation. Look at the most successful people in the world. They had to walk alone at some point in their journey. They had to make the tough decision to distance themselves from negativity, distractions, and people who were not aligned with their vision. When you hold on to relationships out of fear, you are keeping yourself in a place that no longer serves you. Some people are not meant to be part of your next chapter. When God removes someone from your life, He is making space for something better. But you have to trust the process and focus on your journey. It's easy to become distracted by what other people are doing, how they are living, or who they are with. But comparison is a thief. The more you focus on them, the less you focus on yourself. Every minute spent worrying about someone else's life is a minute lost in building your own. Success is not about looking around at what others have. It's about looking within and working on yourself. When you focus on your goals, your habits, and your mindset, you will see a transformation in your life. Letting go does not mean you are bitter or resentful. It means you have chosen peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and growth over stagnation. Some people are not meant to walk with you forever, and that's okay. You have to understand that not everyone has the capacity to grow with you. Some will misunderstand you, some will doubt you, some will even try to hold you back. But you must remain firm in your decision to move forward. Letting go is not a loss, it is a gain. You are gaining space for self-improvement. You are gaining time to invest in your future. You are gaining energy to focus on what truly matters. Detachment is a skill that will change your life. When you learn to detach from things and people that do not serve your higher purpose, you unlock a new level of freedom. You stop begging for attention. You stop waiting for people to change. You stop relying on external validation. Instead, you become secure in yourself. You become grounded in your vision. You begin to walk with confidence, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. One of the greatest investments you will ever make is in yourself. Spend time reading, learning, and developing new skills. Work on your physical, mental, emotional well-being. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not to impress others, but to fulfill your own potential. The moment you stop chasing people and start chasing your purpose, you will see how quickly your life changes. The right people, the right opportunities, And the right success will find you when you are fully committed to your own growth. Forgiveness is also part of the process. You cannot move forward if you are still holding on to resentment. Forgive those who hurt you, not because they deserve it, because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior, it's about releasing yourself from the burden of bitterness. When you let go of the past, you create space for a brighter future. Solitude is not loneliness, it is power. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with emptiness. But being alone is where you truly find yourself. It is where you gain clarity about your goals and direction. When you spend time in solitude, you strengthen your mind. You learn to rely on yourself, and that self-reliance builds confidence. The more comfortable you are in your own company, the less you will settle for people who do not respect or value you. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you keep waiting for others to make you feel good about yourself, you will always be disappointed. No one can complete you. No one can fill the void inside you except you. When you start prioritizing your peace, your growth, and your goals, you will see a transformation in every area of your life. Letting go is an act of faith. It is trusting that what is ahead is greater than what is behind. It is believing that God has a plan for you, and that plan does not include holding on to people who do not appreciate you. When you release what is no longer meant for you, you create room for better relationships, better opportunities, and a better future. So today, make a decision, focus on yourself. Stop chasing, stop begging, stop waiting. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that what is meant for you will never require you to lose yourself. Let them go and step into the life you are meant to live. There comes a moment in life when you must realize that your energy is limited. Every day you wake up with a certain amount of mental, emotional, and physical energy, and how you choose to spend it determines the quality of your life. Too many people waste their energy worrying about others, trying to fix broken relationships, and holding on to people who have already walked away. But the reality is, the more energy you give to things that do not serve your growth, the less energy you have for yourself. If you continue to pour into others while neglecting yourself, you will find yourself drained, unfulfilled, and stuck in a cycle of disappointment. You must understand that not everyone deserves access to your time and energy. Some people are only in your life to take, to use, and to distract you from your true purpose. If you do not learn to protect your energy, you will always feel exhausted, frustrated, and unmotivated. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. It is a decision to prioritize your well-being, your goals, and your happiness. The people who genuinely care about you will support your growth, while those who only benefited from your lack of boundaries will call you selfish. But you must not let guilt keep you tied to relationships that are draining you. If someone is constantly bringing negativity into your life, if they do not support your dreams, if they only reach out when they need something, then you have to ask yourself why you are still holding on. Every relationship should be a two-way street. If you are the only one giving, then it is not a healthy relationship. One of the most powerful things you can do is take control of your life. Stop waiting for others to make you feel important. Stop hoping that people will finally see your worth. The only validation you need is your own. When you truly focus on yourself, you stop seeking approval. You stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop chasing people who are not meant to be in your life. Instead, you invest in yourself, in your goals, and your growth. You build the life you want, not the life others expect you to live. It is important to recognize that not everyone is meant to be part of your journey forever. Some people are only temporary, and trying to force them to stay will only cause you pain. People grow apart. Priorities change. Life moves forward. You must allow yourself to move forward as well. Holding on to someone who is no longer aligned with your path is like trying to wear shoes that no longer fit. It will only cause discomfort and frustration. If someone chooses to walk away, let them go. If someone does not appreciate your presence, give them the gift of your absence. The right people will never make you feel like you have to beg for their attention or love. Detachment is a form of strength. It does not mean you do not care. It means you care enough about yourself to stop allowing toxic relationships to steal your peace. It means you understand that your happiness does not depend on someone else. You are responsible for your own emotional well-being. When you learn to detach from people who are not good for you, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. You begin to experience peace, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose. You start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your success, and your happiness. You must also understand that letting go does not mean forgetting the lessons. Every person who comes into your life teaches you something. Some teach you patience, some teach you resilience, some teach you the importance of self-respect. Instead of dwelling on the past, take the lessons and move forward. Do not let past relationships define your future. Do not let the pain of yesterday stop you from embracing the opportunities of today. The more you dwell on what was, the less energy you have to create what will be. The moment you shift your focus inward, you will notice a transformation. You will no longer be affected by the opinions of others. You will no longer feel the need to explain your choices. You will walk with confidence, knowing that you are living life on your own terms. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You attract better. You attract people who respect you, who uplift you, who align with your vision. The right people will never require you to sacrifice your self-worth to be in their lives. You must also remember that solitude is powerful. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with loneliness. But solitude is where true growth happens. It is in the moments of solitude that you discover who you really are, what you truly want, and what direction you need to take. When you learn to be comfortable in your own company, you no longer settle for meaningless connections. You become selective about who you allow into your life. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop entertaining people who do not align with your purpose. You become stronger, wiser, and more confident in yourself. Forgiveness is another key to letting go. You cannot move forward if you are still carrying the weight of resentment. When you hold on to anger, you are only hurting yourself. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of negativity. Let go of the need for closure. Let go of the need for an apology. Some people will never acknowledge the pain they caused you. And that is okay. Your healing is not dependent on them. Forgive for your own peace, not for theirs. God has a plan for you, but you cannot receive what is meant for you if you are still holding on to what is not. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for something greater. You begin to attract opportunities that align with your purpose. You step into a life of fulfillment, joy, and success. But first, you must make a choice. A choice to focus on yourself and prioritize your well-being. A choice to let go of anything and anyone that is holding you back. So today, decide that you will no longer waste your time on people who do not see your value. Decide that you will invest in yourself. Decide that you will walk away from anything that no longer serves you. Because the moment you stop chasing, stop begging, and stop waiting for others to change, you reclaim your power. You take control of your life. You step into the best version of yourself. And when you do that, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right success will find you. Let them go and focus on yourself. The best is yet to come. There is a deep power in learning to walk away from people who no longer contribute to your growth. Too often we hold on to relationships, friendships, and connections that have run their course. We keep making excuses for people who repeatedly show us they are not meant to stay in our lives. We ignore the signs, we tolerate disrespect, and we cling to memories instead of seeing the reality in front of us. But the truth is, if someone truly values you, they will show it. You will never have to wonder where you stand in their life. The ones who want to be there will make the effort, and the ones who don't will always have an excuse. It is time to stop holding on to those who have already let go of you. It is time to focus on yourself. When you learn to let go, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. You stop waiting for people to change. You stop expecting closure from those who never intended to give it. You realize that your peace is far more valuable than trying to prove your worth to someone who cannot see it. Holding on to someone who does not appreciate you is like trying to fill a bucket with holes that will never be enough. No matter how much you pour into them, they will never be satisfied. And the more you give, the more you lose yourself in the process. Letting go is not about giving up. It is about choosing yourself. It is about recognizing that you deserve relationships that feel like peace, not confusion. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that not everyone is meant to stay. Some people come into your life to teach you, to challenge you, or to help you grow. But not all are meant to walk with you forever. The problem is we often attach our happiness to other people. We think that if we can just hold on a little longer, things will go back to how they used to be. But people change. Priorities shift. Life moves forward. And if you are constantly looking back, you will never be able to see what is ahead of you. When someone shows you through their actions that they are not meant to stay, believe them. Stop forcing connections that no longer fit who you are becoming. Focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of self-respect. You cannot build a fulfilling life if you are constantly worried about people who do not reciprocate your energy. Your time is valuable. Your peace is priceless. And every moment you spend chasing someone who does not value you is a moment taken away from building the life you deserve. Imagine what you could accomplish if you redirected all the energy you wasted on the wrong people and used it to invest in yourself. Imagine the goals you could achieve, the dreams you could bring to life, the confidence you could build. The truth is, the more you focus on yourself, the less you care about who is staying or leaving. You start to realize that your happiness was never dependent on them, it was always within you. You also have to understand that people treat you based on how you based on them too. If you tolerate being an option, you will never be a priority. If you continue to allow people to take advantage of your kindness, they will never learn to respect you. You teach people how to treat you by the way you respond to their behavior. If someone consistently disrespects you, it is your responsibility to walk away. If they only reach out when they need something, it is your job to set boundaries. The moment you decide that you will no longer settle for less than you deserve, you will start to attract better. Letting go is also about trusting the process. When you release people who are not meant for you, you create space for the right ones to enter your life. Sometimes we hold on out of fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of the unknown. But growth happens when you step outside your comfort zone. You have to be willing to let go of temporary attachments to make room for permanent blessings. God does not take anything away without replacing it with something better. But you must be willing to trust that what is ahead is greater than what you are leaving behind. It is also important to recognize that solitude is not loneliness. Many people fear being alone, so they stay in unhealthy relationships just to avoid facing themselves. But the truth is, the greatest transformations happen when you spend time with yourself. It is in those moments of solitude that you discover your true desires, your purpose, your worth. When you learn to be content with your own company, you stop tolerating meaningless relationships. You start to understand that being alone is far better than being surrounded by people who do not value you. You stop settling for half-hearted love, fake friendships, and one-sided efforts. Forgiveness is another key part of letting go. You cannot fully move forward if you are still carrying the weight of resentment. Forgiveness does not mean you excuse their behavior. It means you choose to release the burden of anger. When you hold on to bitterness, the only person you hurt is yourself. You are giving them control over your emotions, your thoughts, and your energy. Let go for your own peace. Some people will never acknowledge the pain they caused you, and that is okay. Closure is not something they give you, it is something you create for yourself. Your energy is sacred, and you must be intentional about where you invest it. Instead of worrying about those who walked away, focus on those who stayed. Instead of chasing people who do not appreciate you, focus on the ones who truly value you. And most importantly, focus on yourself. Your dreams, your growth, your happiness, these should be your priorities. The right people will never require you to beg for their time or attention. The ones who belong in your life will align with your journey effortlessly. So decide today that you will no longer waste your time on people who do not see your value. Decide that you will invest in yourself, in your goals, in your future. Let them go. Release the past. Step into your power. Because the moment you stop chasing what is not meant for you, you make space for what is truly meant to find you. You reclaim your energy, your peace, and your purpose. And when you do that, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right blessing follow. Letting go is not just about walking away from people. It is about releasing the attachments, the expectations, and the emotional burdens that hold you back. Too often we tie our happiness to the presence of others, believing that we need their validation, their approval, or their companionship to feel whole. But the truth is, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. If you do not learn to prioritize your well-being, you will always find yourself at the mercy of others, constantly seeking, constantly hoping, and constantly disappointed. It is time to focus on yourself and understand that not everyone is meant to stay in your life. There comes a point when you must stop forcing connections that no longer serve you. Holding on to people who have already let go of you is a form of self-sabotage. You may justify it by saying you have history together, that things were once good, or that you believe they will change. But the reality is, if someone truly values you, they will not put you in a position where you have to question your worth. They will not make you beg for attention, respect, or effort. A connection that is meant for you will flow naturally. It will not feel like a constant struggle. The more you focus on chasing someone who does not value you, the more you lose yourself in the process. Focusing on yourself means understanding that you are responsible for your own happiness. You cannot rely on someone else to complete you, to heal you, or to make you feel worthy. When you place that burden on another person, you give away your power. You become dependent on their actions, their words, and their presence to determine your self-worth. But what happens when they leave? What happens when they disappoint you? If your happiness is tied to someone else, you will always be at risk of losing it. True fulfillment comes from within, from knowing who you are, from pursuing your passions, from building a life that brings you joy, regardless of who stays or goes. Letting go also requires you to stop replaying the past. Many people struggle to move forward because they keep looking back, analyzing what went wrong, wondering if they could have done something differently. But no amount of overthinking will change what has already happened. The past is done, and the only thing you have control over is how you choose to move forward. If someone left, if they betrayed you, if they failed to appreciate you, that is their loss. Do not let it become your burden. The moment you stop dwelling on the past, you free yourself to embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go is the fear of being alone. Many people hold on to toxic relationships, one-sided friendships, and unhealthy attachments simply because they are afraid of solitude. They convince themselves that being with someone, even if it is not fulfilling, is better than being alone. But this mindset only leads to more pain. When you settle for less than you deserve, you send a message to yourself that your happiness is not important. You teach yourself that you would rather tolerate mediocrity than risk the unknown. But the unknown is where growth happens. It is where you discover your true strength, your passions, your potential. The time you spend alone is not wasted. It is an opportunity to rebuild, to rediscover yourself, to focus on your goals without distraction. You must also understand that letting go does not mean you wish harm on anyone. It does not mean you hold on to bitterness, resentment, or anger. Forgiveness is a part of the process, but forgiveness does not mean allowing people back into your life. It means releasing the emotional weight they left behind. It means understanding that you deserve peace. And you cannot find peace if you are still carrying the pain of the past. Some people will never apologize. Some will never acknowledge the hurt they caused. That is not your burden to carry. Your healing is your responsibility, and that healing begins the moment you decide to let go. Focusing on yourself means setting boundaries. It means recognizing when a relationship is no longer healthy and having the strength to walk away. It means protecting your energy, your time, and your emotional well-being. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. Those who don't were never meant to stay. Do not be afraid to distance yourself from people who drain you, who bring negativity into your life, or who make you feel like you are not enough. You are enough, exactly as you are, and anyone who makes you feel otherwise does not deserve a place in your life. Growth requires change. You cannot become the best version of yourself if you are still holding on to relationships, habits, and mindsets that no longer align with your journey. Sometimes letting go means outgrowing people, and that is okay. Not everyone is meant to come with you to the next chapter of your life. Some were only meant to be there for a season, to teach you a lesson, to help you see your worth. Do not hold on to temporary people at the cost of your permanent growth. When you focus on yourself, you start to see things clearly. You start to realize that your happiness was never dependent on anyone else. It was always within you. You stop seeking validation from others because you learn to validate yourself. You stop chasing people who do not appreciate you because you learn to appreciate yourself. You become your own source of strength, your own source of motivation, your own source of love. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to complete you and start embracing your own journey, you become unstoppable. You attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy. You step into your power knowing that you are capable of achieving great things with or without anyone else. Let them go. If they were meant to stay, they would have. If they were meant to appreciate you, they would have. Focus on yourself. Invest in your growth. Prioritize your happiness. The right people will come. And when they do, you will be ready. Your energy is one of the most valuable assets you have. It determines the quality of your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately the life you create for yourself. Yet too often, people waste their energy on things and people that do not contribute to their growth. They spend hours worrying about what others think, seeking validation, engaging in unnecessary drama, and holding on to relationships that drain them rather than uplift them. When you focus on yourself, you begin to recognize the importance of protecting your energy. You understand that not everyone deserves access to you, and that in order to grow, you must be intentional about where and how you invest your time and emotions. One of the biggest mistakes people make is allowing their happiness to be dictated by external circumstances. They believe that if a certain person loves them, if they achieve a certain status, or if they gain recognition, they will finally feel fulfilled. But fulfillment does not come from the outside, it comes from within. When you depend on external factors for happiness, you give away your power. You become vulnerable to disappointment, to rejection, to the actions and opinions of others. The key to true peace is learning to generate happiness from within yourself, to be content with who you are regardless of what is happening around you. Many people are trapped in toxic cycles simply because they have not yet learned to set boundaries. They allow others to take advantage of their kindness, to overstep their limits, and to make them feel guilty for prioritizing themselves. But setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary. It is a way of showing yourself respect and teaching others how to treat you. When you fail to set boundaries, you invite stress, resentment, and exhaustion into your life. But when you establish firm limits, you create a space for peace, for growth, and for the right people to enter your life. Letting go of people who drain your energy is not always easy, especially when you have an emotional attachment to them. You may feel guilty, you may feel obligated to keep them in your life, or you may fear being alone. But you must remember that not everyone is meant to be part of your journey forever. Some people are lessons, not lifelong companions. And if someone constantly brings negativity, stress, or toxicity into your life, they are not meant to stay. You owe it to yourself to walk away from anything that disrupts your peace, no matter how long they have been in your life. Focusing on yourself means redirecting your energy towards your personal growth. It means investing in your dreams, your passions, and your goals. It means taking care of your mental and physical health, surrounding yourself with positivity, and developing habits that push you toward success. Too many people waste years of their lives catering to others, neglecting their own ambitions, and ignoring their true desires. But the moment you start prioritizing yourself, everything changes. You begin to attract the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances. You start to see progress in ways you never imagined simply because you chose to focus on what truly matters: yourself. There is a common misconception that focusing on yourself means being alone or isolating yourself from others. But that is not the case. Focusing on yourself simply means making yourself a priority. It means recognizing that your happiness is your responsibility and that you do not need to sacrifice your well-being for the sake of keeping others comfortable. It means surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support you rather than those who drain you. It means choosing relationships that add value to your life instead of ones that make you feel unworthy. Growth is uncomfortable, and sometimes it requires making difficult choices. It requires distancing yourself from people who do not align with your vision, breaking free from habits that hold you back, and stepping into the unknown. But every step you take towards self-improvement brings you closer to a life of fulfillment and purpose. You cannot grow if you continue to stay in places where you are not valued. You cannot evolve if you are constantly catering to people who do not support your dreams. You must be willing to let go of what no longer serves you so that you can make room for something better. Letting go also means detaching from the need for validation. Many people live their lives seeking approval from others, afraid of being judged, worried about whether they are good enough. But the truth is, no matter what you do, there will always be people who criticize you, who doubt you, who try to bring you down. If you spend your life trying to please everyone, you will never be truly happy. Real freedom comes when you stop worrying about what others think and start living for yourself. When you realize that your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, you become unstoppable. Self-love is the foundation of everything. When you truly love yourself, you do not tolerate disrespect. You do not allow others to manipulate you. You do not settle for less than you deserve. You develop a deep sense of confidence knowing that you are enough, just as you are. This confidence allows you to walk away from situations that do not serve you, to pursue your goals without fear, and to create a life that aligns with your true purpose. At the end of the day, your energy is precious. You have the power to choose where you invest it. You can spend it chasing people who do not appreciate you, engaging in negativity, and holding on to things that drain you. Or you can choose to invest it in yourself, in your dreams, in your happiness. The choice is yours. But remember, the moment you decide to focus on yourself and let go of what no longer serves you, you will step into a new level of peace, strength, and success. There comes a time in life when you must recognize that not everyone is meant to walk with you on your journey. Some people come into your life to teach you lessons, to challenge you, or to help you grow. but that does not mean they are meant to stay forever. Holding on to people who no longer align with your vision or purpose will only slow you down. It will keep you trapped in old patterns, preventing you from stepping into the future that is meant for you. You must be willing to let them go, not out of anger or resentment, but out of a deep understanding that your growth requires it. Focusing on yourself means making the conscious decision to prioritize your well-being over the expectations of others. Too often, people feel obligated to keep relationships, friendships, and connections alive simply because of history. They believe that just because someone has been in their life for a long time, they must continue to allow them access. But time does not determine the value of a relationship. Alignment does. If someone no longer supports your growth, if their presence drains your energy, if their influence pulls you backward instead of forward, it is time to release them. It is time to recognize that you are not abandoning them. You are choosing yourself. Letting go does not mean you do not care about people. It does not mean you lack love or compassion. It simply means you have reached a point where you refuse to compromise your happiness, peace, and future for the sake of holding on to something that no longer serves you. It is a form of self-respect. When you begin to prioritize your own well-being, you will notice that the people who genuinely belong in your life will respect your boundaries, while those who were only there for convenience will fall away. One of the most difficult aspects of letting go is overcoming the fear of loneliness. Many people stay in toxic relationships or friendships simply because they are afraid of being alone. They fear the silence, the space, the unfamiliarity of not having someone to constantly rely on. But true strength is found in solitude. It is in those moments when you stand alone that you discover who you really are. You learn to trust yourself, to enjoy your own company, and to build a foundation of self-worth that is not dependent on anyone else. When you let go of what is not meant for you, you make space for what is. Your energy is sacred. Every interaction you have, every conversation you engage in, and every person you allow into your space affects your energy. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, drama, or people who do not uplift you, it will take a toll on your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. It means being intentional about who you give your time to. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, emotions, and dreams. It means creating an environment that nurtures your growth rather than stunts it. Growth is an ongoing process, and it often requires making difficult choices. It requires stepping away from relationships that no longer align with your vision, distancing yourself from environments that keep you stuck, and embracing the discomfort of change. But every time you choose yourself, you strengthen your ability to navigate life with confidence and clarity. You begin to realize that you do not need permission to grow. You do not need validation from others to pursue your dreams. You do not need to explain yourself to those who do not understand your journey. You only need to trust that by letting go of what no longer serves you, you are making room for something better. Letting go also means releasing the need to control everything. Many people hold on to relationships, situations, or even past experiences simply because they fear uncertainty. They would rather stay in a familiar situation, even if it is unhealthy, than step into the unknown. But real freedom comes when you surrender the need to control outcomes and instead focus on controlling your response to life. When you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, you no longer feel the need to force connections, chase people, or hold on to things that are slipping away. You become more at peace with where you are, knowing that what is meant for you will always find its way to you. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is understanding that your happiness is your responsibility. No one else is responsible for making you feel fulfilled. No relationship, no friendship, no external validation can replace the sense of wholeness that comes from within. When you depend on others to fill your emotional gaps, you give away your power. But when you focus on yourself, on your growth, your dreams, your self-improvement, you take back control of your life. You learn to create happiness on your own terms. Choosing yourself is not an easy journey. It requires strength, discipline, and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. It means confronting the reality that not everyone you care about is meant to be part of your future. It means understanding that some people will not understand your decision to focus on yourself, and that is okay. You are not here to live for the expectations of others. You are here to live your truth, to follow your purpose, and to become the best version of yourself. At the end of the day, you have one life. You can spend it trying to hold on to relationships that drain you, seeking validation from people who do not appreciate you, and neglecting your own needs. Or you can choose to focus on yourself, let go of what no longer aligns with your purpose, and build a life that is fulfilling, peaceful, and true to who you are. The choice is yours. But remember, the moment you choose yourself, you step into a new level of strength, clarity, and success. There comes a point in life when you must acknowledge that not everyone is meant to stay. People will walk in and out of your journey, some teaching valuable lessons, others leaving behind painful experiences. But the true power lies in your ability to release what is not serving you and redirect your focus where it truly matters: yourself. Holding on to relationships that no longer align with your vision, entertaining friendships that drain your energy, or clinging to situations that no longer bring growth will only delay your progress. You must understand that in order to evolve, you need to let go. It is not a sign of weakness, nor is it an act of selfishness. It is a declaration that you value your own peace, growth, and future more than you fear the pain of release. Many people struggle with letting go because they are afraid of change. They convince themselves that if they hold on just a little longer, things might return to the way they once were. But the truth is, clinging to the past will only rob you of the opportunities waiting for you in the present. Life is constantly moving forward, and if you do not move with it, you risk staying trapped in cycles that prevent you from reaching your full potential. It takes courage to walk away from relationships that no longer serve you, to distance yourself from people who do not support your growth, and to say no to situations that compromise your peace. But that courage is exactly what will set you free. Focusing on yourself means shifting your energy from external distractions to internal growth. Too often, people spend their time worrying about what others think, seeking approval, and trying to fit into spaces that do not align with their true purpose. But when you start focusing on yourself, you begin to realize that your energy is best invested in personal development. You start setting goals that matter to you, building habits that elevate you, and surrounding yourself with people who encourage you to become better. You stop seeking validation from others because you recognize that your worth is not determined by how many people approve of you, but by how much you believe in yourself. Letting go is not always easy. Sometimes it means walking away from people you once loved. It means accepting that some connections were only meant for a season. It means understanding that no matter how much history you share with someone, if they are not contributing to your growth, they do not belong in your future. It is a painful realization, but it is necessary. The more you hold on to relationships that drain you, the more you delay your own progress. When you focus on yourself, you begin to recognize that you are responsible for your own happiness. No one else is going to come and save you. No one else is going to make you feel whole. That is your job. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start building the life you truly deserve. There is strength in solitude. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with loneliness. But solitude is not loneliness. It is an opportunity for self-discovery. When you step away from distractions and focus on yourself, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want out of life. You learn to enjoy your own company, to embrace your individuality, and to develop a deep sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external validation. When you reach this level of inner peace, you stop chasing people. You stop begging for attention. You stop tolerating relationships that do not align with your values. Instead, you become selective with your energy, choosing to invest it in people and situations that uplift you rather than drain you. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires you to let go of familiar patterns, to step into the unknown and to embrace change. But that discomfort is necessary if you want to elevate your life. If you continue to hold on to what no longer serves you, you will remain stuck in the same place, repeating the same lessons, and wondering why you are not moving forward. The truth is, progress requires sacrifice. It requires you to release what is weighing you down so that you can rise higher. And while it may be painful in the moment, the freedom you gain from letting go is worth it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that they can bring everyone with them on their journey. They try to fix people, to change them, to make them see their vision. But not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people are comfortable staying where they are. Some people do not have the same ambition, drive, or mindset as you, and that is okay. Your job is not to convince people to grow with you. Your job is to focus on your own growth and allow those who are meant to be in your life to align with you naturally. When you shift your focus inward, you realize that you have everything you need within you. You no longer need approval, validation, or acceptance from others. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to people who do not understand your journey. You learn to trust yourself, to believe in your abilities, and to move forward with confidence. You start prioritizing your peace, setting boundaries, and making choices that align with your vision. And as a result, you begin to attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. At the end of the day, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. If you are constantly seeking fulfillment from others, you will always be disappointed. But if you take the time to invest in yourself, to nurture your growth, and to focus on your own happiness, you will find a sense of fulfillment that no external source can provide. You are the author of your story, and you have the power to create the life you want. But that begins with a choice. The choice to let go of what no longer serves you and to focus on yourself. There comes a time in life when you must prioritize yourself above all else. Too often, people waste years trying to fix relationships that are already broken, clinging to people who have outgrown them, and holding on to situations that no longer bring them peace. They convince themselves that if they keep trying, things will change. But the truth is, not everyone is meant to stay, and not everything is meant to be fixed. The sooner you accept this reality, the sooner you can start focusing on yourself and building the life you deserve. Letting go does not mean you have failed. It does not mean you are giving up. It simply means you recognize that your time and energy are too valuable to be wasted on people and situations that do not contribute to your growth. Holding on to what no longer serves you will only drain your energy and delay your progress. You must understand that your future is far more important than your past. The relationships that fell apart, the opportunities that did not work out, the people who walked away, none of it defines you. What defines you is how you choose to move forward. Too many people stay stuck in the past because they are afraid of change. They hold on to memories of how things used to be, hoping that if they just wait long enough, things will go back to the way they were. But life does not work that way. Life is constantly moving forward, and if you do not move with it, you will be left behind. Growth requires change, and change requires letting go. It is not always easy, but it is necessary. You cannot reach your full potential if you are still carrying the weight of the past. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. It means recognizing your own worth, setting boundaries, and making choices that align with your goals. It means prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Too often, people lose themselves in relationships trying to be everything for everyone else while neglecting their own needs. They pour all their energy into others, hoping to receive the same in return, only to be left feeling empty and unappreciated. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You must take care of yourself first before you can truly be there for anyone else. Letting go is painful, but holding on to the wrong things is even more painful. It keeps you stuck in cycles of disappointment, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. It prevents you from seeing new opportunities and experiencing the happiness that comes from living in alignment with your true self. When you let go, you make room for better things to come into your life. You open yourself up to new experiences, new relationships, and new opportunities that would not have been possible if you had remained stuck in the past. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to let go is fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of the unknown. Fear of making the wrong decision. But fear should never be the reason you stay in situations that no longer serve you. Growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone and embrace change. You must learn to trust yourself and believe that you are capable of creating a life that fulfills you. When you focus on yourself, you develop the confidence to make decisions that align with your goals and values rather than making choices based on fear or obligation. Your energy is one of your most valuable assets, and you must be mindful of where you invest it. Surrounding yourself with people who drain you, entertain negativity, and bring unnecessary drama into your life will only hold you back. You need to be intentional about who and what you allow into your space. Choose relationships that uplift you, environments that inspire you, and activities that contribute to your growth. The more you focus on yourself, the less you will tolerate anything that does not align with your vision. Letting go is a process, and it does not happen overnight. It requires patience, self-reflection, and a commitment to your own well-being. There will be moments when you feel tempted to go back to reconnect with people who hurt you, to revisit old situations that once felt familiar. But every time you feel that temptation, remind yourself of why you walked away in the first place. Remember the pain, the disappointment, and the exhaustion that came with holding on to something that was never meant for you. Remind yourself that you deserve better, and the only way to receive better is to make space for it. Focusing on yourself means taking responsibility for your own happiness. It means realizing that no one else is going to come and save you, that no one else is responsible for your success, and that no one else can define your worth. You have to be the one to make the decision to put yourself first, to set boundaries, to pursue your goals, and to refuse to settle for anything less than what you deserve. The more you prioritize yourself, the more you will attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. At the end of the day, you are the only person who will be with you for the rest of your life. Everyone else is temporary. Some people will support you, others will challenge you, and some will leave you. But no matter what happens, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. When you learn to focus on yourself, to embrace change, and to let go of what no longer serves you, you will find a sense of peace, confidence, and fulfillment that no one else can give you. You are in control of your own happiness, and it's up to you to create a life that truly will offer. People often struggle with letting go because they feel an obligation to hold on to the past, to the people they have known for years, and to the situations that once felt comfortable. But life is about growth, and growth requires change. You cannot step into your future while clinging to your past. The people and situations that no longer align with your journey must be released, not out of anger or resentment, but out of love for yourself. Letting go is an act of self-respect. It means you value your peace, your energy, and your purpose more than the comfort of familiarity. Many people stay in relationships and friendships that drain them because they are afraid of being alone. They hold on to people who do not appreciate them, hoping that one day things will change. But the hard truth is, if someone truly values you, they will not require you to beg for their presence. They will show up, they will support you, and they will contribute to your growth. If you constantly have to force someone to be in your life, they are not meant to be there. Real connections do not require convincing. If a person truly belongs in your life, they will match your energy, respect your time, and add value to your journey. Letting people go does not mean you do not care about them. It means you care about yourself enough to prioritize your own well-being. Some people are meant to be part of your story for a season, not a lifetime. You must learn to recognize when a chapter has ended and be willing to turn the page. Holding on to expired relationships will only hold you back from what is meant for you. The longer you stay in places where you do not belong, the more you delay the blessings that are waiting for you on the other side of letting go. It is not just about relationships. Letting go also means releasing old habits, outdated beliefs, and the fears that keep you from stepping into your full potential. Many people live their entire lives trapped by their own mindset, believing they are not capable, not worthy, or not ready to chase their dreams. But the only thing standing between you and the life you desire is the willingness to let go of the excuses. You must detach from the mindset that tells you success is for other people, that happiness is out of reach, or that you are not good enough. The moment you stop limiting yourself is the moment you start creating a life that reflects your true potential. Focusing on yourself means redirecting your energy toward things that truly matter. Instead of wasting time trying to fix broken relationships, use that time to build yourself. Invest in your personal growth, develop new skills, pursue your passions, and take care of your mental and physical health. When you stop chasing people and start focusing on yourself, everything begins to change. Your confidence grows, your mindset shifts, and you begin to attract the right people and opportunities into your life. Many people fear letting go because they think it means losing something. But in reality, letting go is about making space for something better. You cannot receive new blessings if you are still holding on to what no longer serves you. Imagine carrying a heavy bag full of things you no longer need, old clothes, broken items, things that do not fit you anymore. It weighs you down, slows you down, and makes your journey more difficult. The moment you release that weight, you feel lighter, freer, and more prepared for what is ahead. Life works the same way. When you let go of what is holding you back, you create space for new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that align with the person you are becoming. Letting go requires trust. Trust that what is meant for you will never pass you by. Trust that losing certain people is not a loss, but a redirection. Trust that everything you are leaving behind is making room for something greater. The process of letting go is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It will challenge you, test your patience, and sometimes make you question your decisions. But deep down, you know when something no longer feels right. You know when a relationship is draining you more than it is fulfilling you. You know when a situation is no longer helping you grow. The hardest part is accepting that and making the choice to move forward. The truth is, not everyone is meant to understand your journey. Some people will criticize your choices, question your decisions, and try to pull you back into the comfort of the past. But your life is not meant to be lived according to their expectations. You are the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices. So make sure you are making decisions that align with your happiness and purpose. The people who truly support you will respect your need to grow, even if it means growing apart from them. At the end of the day, your happiness is your responsibility. No one else is going to come and fix your life for you. No one else is going to prioritize your dreams, your health, or your peace the way you should. You have to make the choice to let go of what no longer serves you and focus on what truly matters. It is not about being cold or heartless. It is about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. When you finally let go, you will feel a sense of freedom that you have never known before. You will realize that the things you were holding on to were only weighing you down. You will see that focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. You will understand that by choosing yourself, you are choosing a life of peace, growth, and fulfillment. And in the end, you will look back and be grateful that you had the courage to let go and move forward toward the life you were meant to live. People often hold on to relationships, situations, and mindsets that no longer serve them because they fear the unknown. They believe that if they let go, they will lose something valuable, but the truth is, letting go is what allows you to create space for something better. You cannot grow while carrying the weight of the past. You cannot step into your true potential if you are constantly looking back, trying to fix what is broken or hoping that people who have already left your life will return. The most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to shift your focus inward, to concentrate on your own growth, healing, and success instead of worrying about those who do not value your presence. Focusing on yourself means recognizing that you are the most important person in your life. It is about understanding that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable and should not be wasted on people who do not reciprocate your efforts. Too often, people give too much of themselves to others, hoping that their kindness and loyalty will be enough to make someone stay. But the reality is, if someone truly cares about you, they will not require constant convincing to be in your life. You should not have to chase anyone for love, respect, or attention. Real connections happen naturally without force or desperation. When you choose to focus on yourself, you begin to see life from a different perspective. You stop looking for validation from others because you realize that your worth is not determined by anyone else's approval. You no longer feel the need to please people who do not appreciate you because you understand that true happiness comes from within. Instead of trying to hold on to people who are not meant for you, you start attracting those who genuinely align with your values, goals, and vision. You begin to set boundaries, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It takes courage to walk away from situations that drain you. It takes self-respect to refuse to settle for less than you deserve. The moment you realize that you are enough on your own, you stop seeking external validation. You stop waiting for someone to complete you because you recognize that you are already whole. This mindset shift allows you to invest your time and energy in things that truly matter: your personal growth, your mental and physical health, your career, and your passions. One of the biggest obstacles to letting go is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong decision. But the truth is, staying in the wrong situation out of fear will only keep you stuck. It will prevent you from discovering the opportunities and blessings that are waiting for you. Growth requires discomfort. Transformation happens when you step outside your comfort zone and trust that something greater is ahead. You cannot evolve while clinging to the past. You must be willing to release what is no longer meant for you so that you can step into what is. There will be moments when letting go feels painful. You may miss the people who once played a significant role in your life. You may feel the urge to reach out, to reconnect, to go back to what is familiar. But remember, just because you miss something does not mean it is meant for you. Nostalgia is not a reason to hold on to something that no longer aligns with your future. Healing comes when you accept that some people are only meant to be part of your story for a chapter, not a lifetime. Every experience, every relationship, every hardship has a purpose. They teach you lessons, shape your character, and prepare you for what is next. But once the lesson is learned, you must be willing to move forward. The most successful people in life understand the power of focus. They do not waste time dwelling on things they cannot change. They do not allow distractions to take them away from their goals. They understand that in order to build the life they want, they must be intentional about where they direct their energy. If you spend all your time thinking about the past, worrying about people who do not care about you, or dwelling on what could have been, you will never move forward. The moment you decide to focus on yourself is the moment everything changes. Your energy is precious, and where you direct it determines the quality of your life. If you constantly invest your energy in people who do not reciprocate, you will feel drained, frustrated, and unfulfilled. But if you redirect that same energy into your personal development, your career, your passions, and your well-being, you will see massive growth. The key to transformation is discipline. You must discipline yourself to let go of what no longer serves you and commit to the things that truly matter. This means setting goals, staying consistent, and refusing to be distracted by negativity or drama. At first, focusing on yourself may feel lonely. You may feel like you are losing people, distancing yourself from certain relationships, or even stepping away from familiar environments. But what you will come to realize is that this is not a loss, it is a gain. You are gaining clarity, peace, and freedom. You are creating space for new opportunities, new connections, and new experiences that align with the person you are becoming. You are no longer settling for what is convenient. You are choosing what is best for you. The greatest act of self-love is choosing yourself, even when it is difficult. Choosing to walk away from what no longer serves you. Choosing to invest in your future instead of holding on to the past. Choosing to prioritize your peace over toxic relationships. The people who truly belong in your life will respect and support your growth. Those who walk away were never meant to stay. Do not fear their absence. Embrace the space it creates for something greater. At the end of the day, you have one life, and how you live it is up to you. You can spend it chasing people who do not value you, or you can spend it becoming the best version of yourself. You can hold on to what is comfortable, or you can step into the unknown with faith. The choice is yours, but remember this: nothing good comes from holding on to what is not meant for you. The moment you decide to truly focus on yourself, your entire life will begin to shift. You will become stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled, and one day you will look back and realize that letting go was not the end, it was the beginning of something far greater than you ever imagined.